Wentz Financial Group presents Zips Basketball Weekly with John Gross. Investment management for your lifetime. Contributing sponsors include Summa Health, it's your health. Let's own it together. Bud Light, the world's famous light beer. Dilly Dilly. Doubletree by Hilton Akron Fairlawn, preferred hotel of Zips Athletics. By your Akron, Canton, Bryant heating and cooling dealers. And the Spaghetti Warehouse, famous for its 15-layer lasagna.
Hello again, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Zips Basketball Weekly with head coach John Gross, brought to you as always by the Wentz Financial Group. Well, Akron with just 6 regular season games left before the Mid-American Conference Tournament begins in early March. And believe it or not, 2 of those final 6 games are with Bowling Green, who Akron will take on Tuesday night over at BG. That'll be a 7 o'clock tip-off against the Falcons. Then Akron's next home game is Saturday afternoon at 2 o'clock against the Miami Redhawks. So, Coach, boy, a tough week last week. We take on Buffalo, one of the top teams of the country, then a disappointing loss over at Ball State.
Yeah, we had 2 tough ones this week. 2 really hard-fought games.
Yeah.
You know, our guys really battled, I thought, in both games physically. I actually thought we played better from a teamism standpoint and execution standpoint in the Ball State game than we did in the Buffalo game. You know, I think sometimes what happens is people will play, hey, they're 25th in the country. You know, for me, I evaluate it based on our standards, and I just didn't think that we executed great in the Buffalo game. I thought that we weren't as connected as we needed to be. Now, our guys, from a physical standpoint, I think gave us pretty good effort, played all the way to the bell. You know, it was 73-70 there with 15 or 16 seconds left after making a few plays. And obviously, they're very, very good. So we've got to learn from that. We do get a second opportunity and maybe even more to play them, you know, again. So we'll have to be better next time we play them. Ball State, I thought that our defense was tremendous. I mean, it was, you know, we've now climbed to 21st in the country. We're in the top 25. We're number 1 in the league. And offensively, we just struggled to shoot the ball. There's some execution things certainly we can clean up. But, you know, the hourglass is sifting. You know, there's, you know, between now and the MAC tournament, you know, roughly a month, Joe, right around there. So we've got to figure out a way to be more effective offensively to work in concert with our defense.
All right, let's go back to Rhodes Arena this past Tuesday night. The top team to come into Akron in a long time, Buffalo, was there. Highlights brought to you by Summa Health Systems and ESPN. Coach, the Bulls jump out fast. You call a timeout and settle things down early, though.
Yeah, I thought we were a little anxious early, so we used the early timeout, and then we really settled in and ended up taking a lead during that first half. You know, 28-26, I believe, was our lead. And then they finished the half strong, just like they started the half strong, and ended up having the lead at halftime. But I thought our guys battled. They really did. And I thought it was not an effort situation that didn't allow us to finish them off. It was more execution. It was more connectedness and trust in each other to perform their roles on each possession, to get stops or to get great shots offensively.
You're only down by 2 at the half, Coach, as you mentioned, 30-28. What did you see at the half that you liked?
Well, I thought once again our defense, I mean, they average 85 a game. I mean, to hold them to 30 in the first half and the way that we did it, I thought was terrific. You know, I just thought offensively we were a little bit over-anxious individually, and we just weren't as connected as we needed to be. And then, you know, a good team like Buffalo, I use the analogy of boxing. Like, you know, we've shown here in the last month, Joe, that we can get hit a couple times, a couple uppercuts, get knocked down, get up. And that's certainly improvement from where we were last year. But when you play a team like Buffalo, they're going to keep jabbing. And as we continue to develop and grow our program, we want to continue to be that team that keeps jabbing and gets back up and fights and lands a few blows ourselves, then gets back up again. And I thought they delivered 3, 4, 5 of them during the game, and I didn't like our response to 3, 4, and 5. The first 2, we kind of hung in there, but great lesson for our guys, a great learning opportunity against a very good basketball team.
They pulled away a little bit in the second half, got up by double digits. Then you have a late run, Coach, and a Tyler Cheese shot from the corner could have cut it to 2 with less than a minute.
Yeah, no, we fought all the way to the end. Guys did a good job executing late game. We made some shots. Our press was effective. We had a really sloppy foul on an inbound press situation that put them on the line there at the close of the game, where we really had the guy dead to rights in a trap. But all in all, I mean, our guys fought all the way through, as they should. You know, I told them, I said, we shouldn't applaud that around here. That's what we should do. When you play for Akron, that's the standard. And they did that. You know, we just need to execute a little bit better and be a little bit more connected during adverse situations.
Zips put 4 players in double figures against Buffalo. Lauren Christian Jackson with 20. Tyler Cheese chips in with 16. Daniel Utomi had 14, and Jamon Ivey with 14. As you mentioned, Coach, we'll get another shot at him. That'll be on Tuesday night, February 26th. Not that
Yeah,
far
no,
away.
there's no off nights in our league, as you know. I mean, we went from, you know, rivalry game to 25th ranked Buffalo to road game at Ball State with all their team finally healthy to now the league leader, BG.
That's right.
Then we got Miami coming in,
Yeah.
who already beat us on the road. So it just, you know, the gauntlet keeps going. We've said from the very beginning when we were 0-0 entering season 2 that we were going to take it one game at a time and not allow the outcome of the previous game to deter our focus, our preparation, and our ability to play well in the next game.
Yep.
That takes a certain level of mental toughness. It's something we've talked about at great length, and it's something we expect. And that's what good teams do. They get to that next one with either with the humility based on coming off the last win, or they come into it with, well, hey, we didn't swallow dysfunction and adversity. We know we got beat. Let's learn. Let's move.
There you go. Hey, the Zips have a new member of the 1,000 Point Club. That is junior Daniel Utomi. We'll come back and meet that young man right after this.
The difference with Wentz Financial Group is that we do not have a cookie cutter answer to any of our clients' needs. Every day is completely different in the market, and every client situation is unique. We value the opportunity and responsibility to manage the hopes and dreams of our 3,000 customers nationwide.
Come see the difference Wentz Financial Group can make for your financial future. Wentz Financial Group. Investment management for your lifetime.
The University of Akron is more than a college or campus.
It's a connection to the community.
To the thousands of opportunities right here in Northeast Ohio.
And to the partnerships with employers and organizations.
Like the LeBron James Family Foundation, where we connect kids to life-changing possibilities.
It's the strength of UA, this city, and these connections.
It's where students make an impact on their community and in the world.
While still making an impact
In the classroom.
On the track.
In the boardroom.
and in my community.
That's what makes us the University of Akron.
Okay, welcome back to Zips Basketball Weekly. And Coach, for the second time this year, you got to welcome in a new member of the 1,000 Point Club. That's Daniel Utomi.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. Obviously, you know, Dan has worked very hard to develop his game. We've talked about it on the show previously.
Yeah.
You know, whether it was last year or this year, how much I enjoy coaching him because of how much he loves basketball.
He does.
You know, I tend to like guys who love ball. He loves ball. He works at it. And from where he started when I first got here as an 18% body fat Dan Utomi, you know, to a guy whose, you know, knees were bothering him a little bit because he wasn't in as good a shape as he should have been, to where his game was at that time, to where he's at now, is a testament to the hard work that Dan has put in to do this thing really well, and really proud of him. And we certainly welcome him to that 1,000 Point Club.
A young man out of Houston, Texas. Let's meet Daniel Utomi.
Now this is Tyler Cheese. Shot clock at 5. Utomi got to raise up from deep, and he'll splash that triple. Daniel Utomi with a knockdown and then first three of his of the night.
Well, that's a big basket for Akron. Again, 3 seconds on the shot clock.
I'm not a big milestone guy, but it's nice to have, you know, 1,000 points.
I knew he was going to get it. I was kind of mad he didn't get it against Kent because obviously when you get 1,000 points, you want to get it on the win, probably feel better. And so when we won that game, I was hoping he got it that game. But, you know, it doesn't matter. As long as you reach that milestone, he got it. That's the most important thing.
Different people got different scenarios. You know, Coach Groves came. You know, he's a different coach than Coach D, you know, so I think having Coach Groves made me, you know, score way more points than being coaching by Coach D. I've been scoring all my life, so scoring 1,000 points is really. I don't want to sound like that guy, but it's cool to have, but it's whatever.
He got his a year earlier than mine, but it's kind of cheating because he played more with Coach D. My first year kind of hindered me, but you know we still got it. That's all that matters. And You know, 2,000 points, that's a lot.
That's amazing to me, just to think about, because, you know, we both came from similar places, had similar roles when we first got here, and for us to just...
You couldn't imagine,
yeah.
You know, for us to do it the same year, it's big, you know, big. Well, for me on the floor, playing with Dan is lovely, because obviously, like I'm not just, I believe in myself to do other things but scoring. So like when I have Dan out there, I know I'm gonna get some assists. So that's a good thing because he makes 75% of my assists. We got to get the rest of the guys to start making my assists. But you know that's the best thing about playing with him. I know he's gonna make my shots. I can trust him when I pass him the ball. So
I worked very hard. I still do. Will continue to. That's not gonna change. But yeah, I'm not surprised about me getting the 1,000 points. I mean, obviously you said it. I mean, I worked my ass off, man. So I'm just grateful for it.
Once again, congratulations to Daniel Utomi for reaching that 1,000-point plateau. We're going to take a break, come back and look at highlights of that tough loss over at Ball State on Saturday right after this.
Roman was born with a hole in his heart. But thanks to the experts at Summa who found the problem and fixed it quickly, he's feeling 26 again. Not 76. Minimally invasive heart procedures, many performed in under 2 hours. Summa Health, vital for getting back in the game and more.
Sir Jeremy, you are a true friend of the crown. Dilly dilly. Dilly dilly. Madam Susan, you are an even truer friend of the crown. Dilly dilly. Dilly dilly. What is that?
This is a spiced honey mead wine that I have really been into lately.
Please follow Sir Brad. He's going to give you a private tour of the Pit of Misery.
I'm sorry, what?
Pit of Misery. Dilly dilly. Dilly dilly.
Here's to the friends you can always count on.
Okay, welcome back to Zips Basketball Weekly with head coach John Gross. And coach, back home to Ball State in Indiana on Saturday.
Yeah, no, we, you know, obviously, and I want to say this, it was neat for me because my dad was there.
That's a great crowd
my
you brought.
stepdad was there, and then my college coach was there, Paul Patterson. And those three guys, I took a picture with them after the game. The only guy that was missing would have been Todd Licklider, who's down assistant at Evansville. But those four, that group of men has impacted me in so many ways, in my family and, you know, from a male influence perspective in terms of, you know, what it means to be a man and, you know, how to deal with different things that come at you. I really owe, you know, those four guys a lot, and to have three of them there was really special for me. Obviously, I wish we'd have pulled out the win. Led for 33 minutes. It was tied for about 3. So that's the hard part, certainly, you know, the gut punch on the deal, and we're going to have to respond here as we get ready for Bowling Green on Tuesday. But as I said at the outset of the show, I thought we actually played better than we played against Buffalo. We just, you know, didn't come up with, you know, 2 more points to win the game. But our defense was tremendous. I thought guys made plays during the game at both ends of the floor. We had a 5-point lead going into the last 4 minutes and just, you know, didn't make enough winning plays down the stretch, and they did.
Let's go back to Worthen Arena on the campus of Ball State University Saturday afternoon. Highlights brought to you once again by Summa Health Systems, courtesy of the Ball State Athletic Department. As you mentioned, Coach, pretty good first half. Had, I think, an 8-point lead at the half.
We did, and really relied on our defense once again. And I thought our execution in the first half offensively was really good. We missed some layups, some open shots. But I thought we had good ball movement. I thought we had good thrust and transition. I thought we had good spacing. And we made some plays, as you can see here on the highlights that we're showing you. Second half, we did a little bit as well, not quite as crisp as the first half. And our defense was carrying the day for us again in the second half and put us in position really to have an opportunity to close with a 5-point lead at the under 4.
Daniel Utomi, you just met that young man. Boy, he had a great first half for you, Coach. Really shot it well.
He did, and blended it, you know, shooting threes, driving the ball, took advantage of some mismatched situations. As you see in the last 2 clips there, driving their 5 and then putting it on the floor against Maulers. But great shot fake finish here. Made some plays for us in the first half.
Had a chance really a couple times, Coach, in each half to extend the lead. Ball State with a lot of turnovers. Just couldn't put them away.
No, we couldn't, and a lot of that was because of some shot making and some offensive execution that needed to be a little bit better. But Defensively, once again, we were good. 20. As I told him after the game, you don't hold someone on the road to 35% shooting, force as many turnovers as we did if you're not playing. There you see E-Man. I thought E-Man played one of his better games of the year, had 4 blocks, was really active defensively, and was active on the glass, keeping balls alive, and played with energy and motor. Here you see Christian getting downhill off a great E-Man screen. So we did some good things. We just needed to make a couple more plays, and everybody had a hand in that, whether that's Christian having a right-hand floater, Dan having a wide-open 3, Jamon having a chance at the game winner, Dang having a chance to block out Trey Moses on their last possession. Like, we all had a hand in it and could have stepped up and made a couple more plays there at the end that would have changed the outcome. But, we played some good basketball throughout the course of the 40 minutes.
You mentioned getting some help off the bench, especially against Buffalo, but you got that in Channel Banks at Ball State.
Great point, Joe. And I said that after the game to the guys. I said, look, I was hard on our bench during the week in between the 2 games, and 4 blocks from E-Man, 4 steals from Channel Banks, 4 of 7 shooting from Channel Banks. When all 3 guys that came in off the bench, Roscoe, Banks, and E-Man played, we were plus on the plus-minus chart when all 3 of them played in the game. So it was a huge difference from the Buffalo game. And certainly, they did a really good job for us helping us against Ball State.
We're not going to talk about every little thing that happened in the final 3 or 4 minutes, but if just a couple of those things would have gone Akron's way, you win that basketball game.
Yeah, but you know how it works. I mean, that's life and that's ball. I mean, sometimes you got to make those opportunities happen. When the door's open, you got to run through it. And, obviously there were some things we couldn't control, but there were some things that we could, and that's what we've got to focus on.
I'll tell you, that last shot by Jamon Ivey, you thought it was going in.
Yeah.
Steve French and I thought it was going in. That was a tough one.
Yeah, with 3 seconds to go, obviously, and no timeouts. Good look.
Yeah,
I mean, right in his wheelhouse. It's a action that we run, so he was very familiar with it. It's a shot that he takes quite frequently. It's one of his patented shots, and it just didn't go down.
Zips lose a tough one. We're going to take a break, come back with our player awards for this week right after this timeout.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting more than just a technician. You're getting someone who pays attention to your needs and the little things that make a big difference. It takes a dealer you can rely on. And to keep your family cool this summer,
let me show you how this works.
It takes Bryant.
Bryant, whatever it takes.
And to keep your family comfortable, it takes Air Comfort. Find them at aircomfortohio.com.
The difference with Wentz Financial Group is that we do not have a cookie cutter answer to any of our clients' needs. Every day is completely different in the market, and every client situation is unique. We value the opportunity and responsibility to manage the hopes and dreams of our 3,000 customers nationwide.
Come see the difference Wentz Financial Group can make for your financial future. Wentz Financial Group. Investment management for your lifetime.
Now it's time for Whose Stock is Rising, brought to you all season long by the Wentz Financial Group. A young man we just talked about, Channel Banks, came off the bench against Ball State coach, and he played well for you. You're going to need him the rest of the season.
He did. It was great to see him. Obviously, a couple shots went in, but I was really happy with his defense. We're going to show some clips to the guys where he really, from a scouting perspective, was really dialed in, knew who he was guarding, was active defensively, thought he played intelligently on that end of the floor. Obviously, you see him here getting one of his 4 steals he had during the game. Then he goes 4 for 7 from the field. Thought he did a nice job of taking care of the ball, had like 1 turn. He played really, really well, and we're going to need that down the stretch.
As you mentioned, 4 steals, 9 points for that young man. Congratulations to Channel Banks. Our player of the week, and we've met him earlier in the program, Daniel Utomi had good games against both Buffalo and Ball State, Coach.
Yeah, Dan had a solid week, and the thing about Dan is he defends too now. I mean, Dan's not just a one-way player where he only plays offense. He's turned himself into a really good defender, a guy that we can count on that end of the floor. And then, obviously made some plays for us, especially in the first half against Ball State, and really throughout, especially to close towards the end of the Buffalo game. So Dan made some plays, and we're going to need him to continue to do that moving forward here as we finish out here over the course of the next 4 to 6 weeks.
I made some comments during the radio broadcast, Coach. Daniel Utomi did some things against Ball State. He took it strong to the rim. We haven't seen a lot of that. He likes that long jumper, but he was strong to the rim against the Cardinals.
He was. He took advantage, as we were saying earlier, Joe, of some mismatches that he recognized, whether it was a 5-man closing out on him or particular matchup. And that's one of the areas that Dan has to improve in, is reading the game, when to shoot, when to deck it. We're working with him on that. And you know, Dan's a great student. He wants to be great, so he'll listen and continue to make those next necessary steps in his game to not only help himself, but most importantly, help our team.
Congratulations to those two young men. As we said, it's another busy week for the Zips in the Mid-American Conference. Tuesday at Bowling Green, back home Saturday afternoon for Miami. We're back with a scouting report on those two games after this.
The University of Akron is more than a college or campus.
It's a connection to the community.
To the thousands of opportunities right here in Northeast Ohio.
And to the partnerships with employers and organizations.
Like the LeBron James Family Foundation, where we connect kids to life-changing possibilities.
It's the strength of UA, this city, and these connections.
It's where students make an impact on their community and in the world.
While still making an impact
In the classroom.
On the track. In the boardroom.
and in my community.
That's what makes us the University of Akron.
Roman was born with a hole in his heart. But thanks to the experts at Summa who found the problem and fixed it quickly, he's feeling 26 again. Not 76. Minimally invasive heart procedures, many performed in under 2 hours. Summa Health, vital for getting back in the game and more.
Well, kind of a quirk in the Mid-American Conference schedule. As we mentioned at the top of the show, Akron was 6 games left in the regular season, 2 of them with Bowling Green, Coach. That's kind of funny.
Yeah, they've obviously, one of the things the league has tried to do to make the MAC East and West division races more interesting, and I kind of like it, is if they can, to the best of their ability within facility availability, push the East games, a lot of them towards the end where they really impact those standings. And so it just so happens that we've got Bowling Green here twice in the last 6, the league leader. We'll have Buffalo again, Miami again, Ohio again, Kent again. And, you know, it should be a heck of a stretch run here, as muddled as the standings are right now. Everybody's playing for, as I told the players, I mean, their teams are playing for championships, home games, seeding. I mean, and it's really neat in February to have the opportunity to be able to play for something.
Bowling Green having one of their best years in a long, long time. They're 18-7, coming off a big win against Northern Illinois. This team has really improved from last year, Coach.
Joe, they're really good. They've got 4 double-figure scores in league play. I would say, you know, when you bring a guy off the bench like Lillard, who has a double-figure score and as a starter, when you have a 6th man that's as good as your starters statistically, you know you're in business, and that's what they have right now. Obviously, Wiggins' size, he's a double-double machine. You can make the case with where we're at right now, 12 games in, that Justin Turner could be right up there with some of Buffalo's guys for Player of the Year. Okay, and then Dylan Fry has played really well for them at the point, can shoot it, and they're really good at home. They've lost 1 time to Toledo at home. They've had a 10-game win streak. They're good. I mean, it's going to take a great effort on our part, but just another phenomenal opportunity, and we got to make sure we're ready.
Then we hope to see a lot of Zip fans at the Jar on Saturday afternoon. That'll be a 2 o'clock tip-off against the Redhawks of Miami, a team we've already seen once this year, Coach.
Yeah, I'm going to make that one really short, Joe. We did not play well in Oxford, and, you know, they've gotten us a couple times here. So, you know, obviously we'll get to that one once we get through Bowling Green, but hope Zip fans come out and support this team. The way our team's defending, man, their effort and energy. If you're a fan, you've got to really appreciate and respect that. I know I certainly do as their coach.
I know we talked after the Ball State game, and it gets frustrating because you come out with so much great effort defensively. You just make a few shots, turn this whole thing around.
Yeah, that's the key to us getting better. Obviously, we've been saying it for some time, and we've got to find a way to continue to be more efficient on that end.
I'll tell you, the Zips again with 2 games this week. It'll be Tuesday night at Bowling Green, then Saturday afternoon at 2 o'clock. Hey, a scheduling note, the game at Kent State on Friday, March 8th, that has been changed to a 6:30 tip-off. We'll remind you again in a couple of weeks, but 6:30, Akron at Kent State on Friday, March 8th. For head coach John Gross, my name's Joe Dunn. Thanks for watching. Back next week with another edition of Zips Basketball Weekly.
Wentz Financial Group presents Zips Basketball Weekly with John Gross. investment management for your lifetime. Contributing sponsors include Summa Health, it's your health. Let's own it together. Bud Light, the world's famous light beer. Dilly Dilly. Doubletree by Hilton Akron Fairlawn, preferred hotel of Zips Athletics. By your Akron, Canton, Bryant heating and cooling dealers. And the Spaghetti Warehouse, famous for its 15-layer lasagna.